on that aspect.
Thank you.
And how about you, Sudhir? Can I have a few words from your end?
Yes, Santosh. I'm as well from a finance background, so we are looking to move into an IT. So if the training makes us to just to crack the job and survive in the job, that's really great.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, over to Venkatesh. You can start on the technical session start.
Okay, so thanks Pavesh and Sudhir, thanks for your intro. So the same way, I'll just introduce about myself. So as you know, my side Venkatesh. Okay, so I'm having total 12 years experience. So I also just started my career with basic technical support only. So I was a desktop support engineer. After that, I just moved on to a Windows, VMware, and VMware and cloud DevOps. So I'm handling the AWS, Azure, and DevOps oriented things. Okay. So I'm into say like, since you said, right, you are from the non-technical background, how I'm going to learn. So you may have some queries. Okay. So how it will be suit for you. So nothing to worry. Okay. So as of now, you are a fresher for this field, but even though you are able to pick up this, right? Because here, whatever we are going to learn, right? So that is from the scratch only we are going to learn. Since we are going to learn from the scratch, it will be completely easy to you, and I will take the training in such a way. Okay, for my previous trainings or whatever the trainings which I had already, right? So most of the people, they well satisfied with my training, and the main plus point is that whatever I'm taking, that I'm start from the scratch. So first of all, you don't want to worry about it's completely we are new to this, so we are not any enrollment on relating to the technical. Okay, nothing to worry. So I can completely guide you on all the perspective. So even what are the prerequisites will be there, right? Even that prerequisite also I can satisfy for you, like a foundation. Even I can start from what is cloud. Okay, from the base only I can go to start. Okay. And one more request, so from someone's side I'm hearing some hissing sound. If you can be in mute means it would be fine. So whenever you have a query, you can just unmute and you can talk, not a problem. But I think it may be from Parvesh side. So Parvesh, if you don't mind, could you please mute?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now it's completely even I'm able to audible you all because I said right. So some hissing sound. I'm not sure from where it is. Okay. So anyhow, now it's good to hear. Thank you. So as I said already, whatever the sessions which you are going to handle, right? Even each and every services. So it's completely infrastructure oriented classes. Okay, so here we are going to learn about all the so even I can say like when a new project is onboarding into a cloud environment, okay, where they will start. Okay, so from the scratch I'm going to start. So that's the reason I'm saying. So hope I can share the screen so that I can share what are the services we are going to cover on this training and how it is going to be helpful for you. So those stuffs I can do that. So let me share my screen. Okay, hope you can see my screen. Am I right?
Yes, Venkatesh.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So fine. So overall, it is going to be a 45 hours workshop. Okay, almost around. I'm saying. Okay, it's a rough estimation only. Approximately, I can say like it is around comes around a 45 days workshop. So in this, what and all we are going to learn. First, I'm giving the agenda. Okay, this overall AWS and DevOps workshop. What we are going to learn. So as I said, the very first day, you can just consider today is the first introduction class. So here I'm going to talk about what are the topics which are going to cover on this AWS and DevOps sessions. So in that way, as I said, I'm going to start from the scratch, right? So even I can start from what is meant by cloud computing. So in that way, we are going to learn what is cloud computing, why we need that, and what are the cloud service providers there. Currently, you know about the AWS. Like AWS, other cloud service providers also there, which I can like Azure, GCP, okay, and many more cloud service providers are there. What is the relation between all these three cloud service provider, and who are the competitive to each other? Like this, we are going to discuss about completely What is cloud? Why we are moving into the cloud? Why it is the latest technology? Okay, why people are migrating into the cloud actually? So those reasons and those, if I move to the cloud, what are the benefits I'm going to have? So those stuffs we are going to discuss. So which will help you to understand what is cloud completely. Then only we can move on to AWS services. So in that way, we are going to see the services which is called the identity and access management. So this identity and access management service, which is relating to something, I can say, definitely in your office you'll have some identity. Am I right? So say an example, in your current working job, definitely you'll have one identity which I can say like, it may be your employee ID. The same way, if you want to work in a cloud project, you should have some identity. It is nothing but a username and password with some multi-factor authentication and a password policy and with a group. Okay, so it's completely going to be a subject which is called as user management. User management in the cloud. How we are going to manage the cloud engineers. Say an example, if you take any project, the project can be working together with the multiple members, project members. It's not a single person going to handle the project, correct? So definitely there will be a plenty of engineers will be there. So all the engineers together, they are working as a team and they are giving the output to the client. So how we are going to organize those engineers? So here we can select cloud engineers. You are also going to become a cloud engineer after this training. So if you are going to be a cloud admin or a cloud architect, what are the privilege you are going to have? So those stuffs we are going to study it in the IEM actually. Then we are going to move on to the EC2. EC2 which is relating to the servers. Okay, virtual servers. You may hear about Windows server, Linux server. Even if you don't aware of server, also not a problem. While in the EC2 section, I can clearly explain what is meant by server, why we need that, and by the server, what all are the main resources are running, and what is meant by data center. In the data center, what all are the components are there, what are the core IT resources. So those stuffs and all we are going to discuss on the EC2, and how to back up a server. By backing up the server, what are the benefits we are going to have? Okay, so likewise we are going to discuss about elastic compute cloud. EC2 is nothing but elastic compute cloud, that we are going to completely discuss on Windows virtual machines, Linux virtual machines, those stuffs actually. Next to that, something called as the S3 simple storage service, which we can select. So in this simple storage service, we are going to learn about completely the storage part.
Venkatesh,
Storage part
quick
of.
question.
Yes, please.
As you said that these are the EC2 or the Elastic Computer
Mm,
2. In that
mm,
you
mm.
have to have learned Linux and all.
Linux basics you should know. Okay, so that Linux basics also I can take to you, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so next to that, I'll move on with uh, yeah. Next to that, simple storage service. In the name itself, it is saying right, simple storage service. So by means of simple storage service, we can have something called as a storage related service, which we can say. So by using the storage related service, you can organize your files and folders. So even I can select a simple word, what is simple storage service? In your organization, definitely you may use something called as a FTP server or file server. So file servers to organize the files and folders, right? The same way we can use it in the cloud actually. So basically, to understand what is cloud, why we want to learn all the services, I can say like why people are moving into the cloud. I'll give a simple idea to understand the cloud. In detail, I can explain on the first day session. Okay. Now I can give a two options to store the data. One is pen drive, another one is Google Drive. Which one will you prefer most? Whether you like the pen drive or Google Drive, which one is convenient for you, or which will you go to
Google Drive.
have Google Drive? Why? May I know the reasons?
It's like unlimited and I can access anywhere from any place. I don't have to carry that. If I miss the pen drive, still, if it's in my data is in Google Drive, I can access it.
Correct. So if it is a pen drive, right, you should carry it everywhere. Okay, if it is a pen drive means you need to carry it everywhere. And also sometimes if you're using the pen drive, right, you may have some problem with the that physical port, USB port, and file system problem will be there. Sometimes you are copying some data from the Linux machine, but you are going to use in a Windows machine means it will be a problem. So some practical challenges are there when we are using the pen drive. And moreover, when you go with the pen drive, virus issues also will be there. So comparing with the Google Drive, USB pen drive having many challenges to use. But in the cloud, Google Drive is one of a cloud storage. So here I'm talking about the storage like this. See, for a simple pen drive, Google Drive is better. Got it? The same way, whatever the IT resources which are using in our technical environment, right, in our IT environment, IT sectors, whatever the technical resources which are using, what all are in a physical form. So how I said in this example, to have a storage space, you want to store some data. Even in your mobile phone also, how you are storing the data, by means of memory card or internal storage. Anyway, it's fall under a physical device. But in the Google Drive, whether you are maintaining any devices for using the Google Drive, not, right? Simply you are logged into your Gmail and you are directly, so virtually you are storing something. Okay, your data is available, but you are storing it virtually without investing any price or without investing any amount on the purchasing the hard disk, or you don't want to purchase any hard disk or memory card, nothing. Simply you are able to use the um, you are able to use and you are able to access the storage. Got it? So the same way only we are going to discuss all other topics. The same way in real time you'll have a physical networking, physical servers. Okay, instead of the physical servers and physical networking in the cloud, we are going to use Elastic Compute Cloud as a virtual server, virtual private cloud as a virtual networking, load balancer as a virtual load balancer in the cloud. So load balancer, what the load balancer will do, as of now, you may understood what is IEM, which is I can say like a kind of a user management. Elastic Compute Cloud, it is similar to a virtual server. S3 is similar to like a Google Drive. There you can store the data and you can organize the files and folders. And VPC, as I said, it's kind of a virtual networking. If you go for in real-time environment, even though you are working in a non-technical background, but still you may aware of something called as a data center. There are some switches, routers, network devices will be there. Maybe if you are not knowing, also not a problem. In the particular session, I can explain you clearly. But anyhow, if you want to use, even simply I can select, if you want to have a broadband modem, there will be one device will be there. The device is nothing but a router. It is used for interconnecting our local network into the internet. So for that you need a device. So those kind of devices we can have it in virtual form. We can have it in virtual form in the cloud. So VPC will provide you the same. Okay, and next to that I can go with the load balancer. Load balancer is kind of a device which is used for distributing the request. Okay, and it can manage the traffic. What I'm saying, like distributing the request or managing the traffic, in the sense it is very simple. You know that even today is a Christmas holiday. If you go for any e-commerce website, definitely there will be some offer will be there. Correct. Whenever there is an offer, people are reaching more to that website. Okay, to grab the offer. Okay, so I mean to say, in that situation, we can say that is a peak hours for the websites, peak hours for the e-commerce websites, or not only the e-commerce. You can take any scenarios. So those scenarios, okay, what I can say, they can in order to balance the load when more and more requests. Say an example, I'm giving more and more workload to you. Just consider I'm your team leader. Okay, if I'm a team leader for you, I'll give multiple tasks to you. Okay, that task you can share with your friends as well, if you have a rights, if you have a proper communication, or if you have a um, good understanding with your team, even you can share the work. The same way load balancer also will do the same. That you are doing by yourself, right? You are sharing the load with your friends by yourself. Instead, how the team leader can analyze you, and they can share the load to you. So the same way, the load balancer also is like a kind of a team leader. So it can distribute the workload to the multiple backend servers. So thereby it can manage the load. So thereby we can avoid some downtime on the our server environment. So those kind of thing we can discuss on the load balancer. Okay, so even whatever I explained now, just for your understanding, once again I'll repeat you. So based on the peak hours, what you can do, you can balance the load in order to avoid certain out of service. Say an example, whenever you go for sometimes if you're reaching some websites, it will be say like the service is temporarily unavailable, and that may be because there won't be any redundancy, or I can say like there won't be any multiple servers at the backend. But this kind of issues we can sort out through load balancer active. Okay, still we can discuss more over there, but as of now, hope you understood what is meant by load balancer basically. Okay, so next to that we are going to see something called as auto scaling. What is auto scaling in the sense? just now talking about this load balancer, right? In continuation of this, we are going to see something called as auto scaling. So this auto scaling also, it is relating to kind of a load balancing in order to provide the same kind of redundancy. Or I can say like, I'm not able to handle the request means may not be okay. So if I'm not able to handle the request means I'm not having sufficient resources. Okay, which I mean is like the particular server may not have sufficient resources like RAM, CPU. So say an example, even I can say simply, you are using your mobile phone, okay, but you are supposed to use many applications. You are supposed to use many mobile application, but your RAM is sufficient. What you will do simply, you'll go for upgrade. Correct, you'll go for upgrade your mobile phone, okay, with the memory and everything. So this is one kind of a scaling only. So that scaling, the same, we can go with something called as auto scaling. That auto scaling can increase the number of server. Instead of one server, if the workload increases, it can multiply into 10. So one will become a 10 servers. Then it can share the load again. So this is also a kind of a point of view of redundancy they will make. So overall, since I'm repeating one more point here, since you are currently working in some non-background, okay, non-IT background or non-technical support, overall, why we need this kind of cloud support in the sense basically to deliver a service to your clients actually. You may support for a client, okay, you may support from one organization. That organization, what it requires exactly in the sense, they may deliver some websites or they may deliver some web application to their clients. So their ultimate aim is that they should have uninterrupted services. In order to provide uninterrupted services with the disaster recovery setup and high redundancy, they will make all the things together to collectively, we can call it as a virtual data center. From the virtual data center, they are delivering the service to their clients. So for that, we are going to support from the cloud actually. So cloud is nothing but everything as a, if it is an on-prem, it will be a physical data center. If it is a premise, on-premise, you may support for a physical data center for a client. The same now we are doing in a virtual data center in a virtual form. So that will deliver the service to their clients. So how we are going to deliver the service effectively? For that, what are the services which I'm going to use? That is what this IAM, EC2, S3. Okay, this IAM, S3, EC2, VPC, load balancer, auto scaling, cloud migration, AWS organization service. So those services and all. Okay, now to provide the service, okay, to provide the service to the clients, we are using the services generally. Now in this way also we can reduce when compared with the physical environment, we are able to reduce much more physical resources when you are moving into the cloud. Whenever we are using a less hardware, then there will be less maintenance. Another one main reason which you are moving into the cloud, why we are migrating into the cloud. So when we are migrating into the cloud, we need to use much physical resources. Why? Because cloud is completely a virtual data center. Since it is a virtual data center, it can have one or two servers. Say an example. Now just consider if there is in the current situation, if you don't have a physical, sorry, if you don't have a cloud or virtualization technology means you need to handle 100 or 200 servers. Now in place of 100, 200 servers, you can have only 10 servers in. So instead of 100 servers or 200 servers, you're going to use only 5 or 10 servers. So when you go for getting into the technology cloud, virtualization cloud, you will have very less maintenance. When you have a less maintenance, obviously you will be productive. Okay, you can concentrate on more on your production. So your productive will increase. So still in this normal environment, as I said, instead of using all the, so which I mean to say, like say an example, in physical environment, there is a 50 engineers are working together to handle a data center. Just consider 50 engineers are working together to work with the to deliver a service. Now, once the cloud came, it can be reduced by half. 25 engineers is enough for managing the cloud. Why? Because there is no physical resources. If they upgrade their knowledge, if they are able to support for the cloud technology, then we don't want to have this much number of engineers. So that is the reason even see when the cloud technology came, even manpower reduction also coming.
So manpower reduction coming for physical level support trainers will be there, right? So those trainers, sorry, I mean it's like physical level support engineers will be there, right? As I said, like server hardware engineer, storage hardware engineer, network hardware engineer. So we don't want those engineers actually. Okay, so let's come to the point again. So whatever you are going to learn in the AWS, you are going to build the virtual infrastructure in the cloud. So in the AWS, you are going to learn, you are going to build the infrastructure, cloud infrastructure in the AWS as a virtual server, virtual network, okay, and virtual applications, and I can say like auto scaling, load balancing, whatever the resources and services in the physical environment. The same, it is the same. Even I can say like you can duplicate the same into the cloud. Okay, it is going to be almost similar. Okay, and you can replace every services into the cloud. Okay, after after making those environment in the cloud, I mean it's like the virtual data center in the cloud, still you need to upgrade your skill actually. So what they done in the last 2 years or 3 years, or even I can say like last 4 to 5 years, in the market, most of the people learn the AWS as a sysops engineer, we can say system operations. So nothing but managing the virtual data center. So you are going to manage the virtual data center in the name of cloud admin or cloud architect. So that's fine. Now here you are managing the resources, managing the services, right? In addition to that, what it is coming here in the sense, something called as a DevOps, developing operations. What is meant by developing operation in the sense, you know about programmer, developer, what programmer and developer they are doing. They are developing some applications, or they are developing the websites, or they are developing any web applications. Okay, based on the client input. Okay, they are working together and they are creating some web applications or mobile applications, and they are building a websites. Correct. So they are working with a programming language like the C, C++, Java, Python, .NET, and many more Go. Okay, many more latest and advanced programming languages as well. So what is the idea of DevOps here in the sense developing operations? Whatever you learned here, right? IEM, EC2, S3, VPC, load balancer, auto scaling, this migration, organization service, and all right. So these are the services which is available on the AWS. Okay, mostly this can be associated with the virtual environment. I can select virtual data center. So how we are going to utilize this resources? By creating the resources, by creating and managing the resources manually. Now, what is the use of DevOps here, or what is the influence of DevOps here in the sense? If you have a programming skill like any Python or I can say like YAML, so you are able to write your own script to build the same infrastructure instead of creating one by one manually. Okay, instead of creating one by one graphically in the graphical user interface one by one manually, instead of you are doing and creating these things, you can run a script. The script will have the infrastructure code. We can select IaaS, infrastructure as a code, IR. Okay. So by using the infrastructure as a code, you are able to build this infrastructure in a live environment. Okay. I mean, it's like you can build the infrastructure by a code simply. So first off, in the sense, I said right, totally it will be 45 hours, 45 to maximum 50 hours workshop. In that, okay, first to 20 to 25 years, we are going to learn about the AWS sysops actually. What we are can learn the AWS sysops. There, as I said, like you are going to learn servers, okay, server storage, software, security, networking. So those stuffs we are going to learn. The second off, okay, the second 20 to 25 hours, there we are going to learn about DevOps tools. In that way, for learning the DevOps tools, basically you should understand of Linux basics, okay, Linux basics commands, Linux basics administration, and then Python basics, and Python administration. And but Python is going to be a scripting knowledge. Okay, it is going to have a, got it. So Python is I can say for learning the DevOps, what are the prerequisites? Okay, for learning the DevOps, what are the prerequisites in the sense? One is Python, another one is Linux, another one is AWS. I think again the same, some kind of hissing sound at the back. Do you have any query? Yeah, if you have any query means you can please clarify with me, not a problem. So if you do
You
that,
said three: Linux, Python, and what was the other one?
AWS sysops.
Okay.
So whatever we are going to learn in the first 20 hours, right? That 20 hours only it is we can select AWS sysops, AWS system operations. What does mean by sysops? Means system operations. Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Shall we move on? Yeah. So as I said, first you are going to learn the Linux, then you are going to learn the Python basics. After that, you are going to learn about Boto 3. Boto 3 is a very essential thing which I can select Python Boto 3. By using the Python Boto 3, you can do most of the automations. Okay. So next to that, after learning the Python Boto 3, then you can come to learn about the Lambda. By using the Lambda, you are going to Lambda also it is similar to kind of by using a Python Boto 3. If you want, you can do automation. So, but for learning the automation of Lambda, you should know at least any one of the programming language. That programming language can be Python Boto 3. So Python Boto 3 is a general scripting. Python Boto 3 is a common scripting language. I can say Python alone it is a programming language. Python alone it is a programming language. When it is associating with the Boto 3, it's going to be a it's going to be a scripting language for running the code of AWS environment. Okay, so fine. Now next to that Lambda we are going to go with the cloud formation also. Okay, especially it is for provisioning the new resources. I want to convey few more points about the this Python Boto 3 and cloud formation. Sorry, Lambda and cloud formation. Lambda is used for, especially it is used for managing the existing infrastructure. Okay, so which I mean to say like the cloud formation is used for managing the existing resources. Lambda is used for managing the Lambda is used for managing the existing resource. Cloud formation is used for new provisions. I mean to say like it can be a kind of a template. Say an example in your project. Just an example in your project. Regularly you are creating one server. Okay, just consider regularly you are creating a server. So while creating the server, it will comes around 10 to 15 steps. So instead of do one by steps, what you can do simply, okay, you can create as a template. If you click on the template, it will create the 10 steps immediately. So here we can avoid the steps one by one steps in the graphical console. Why? Because in the graphical console you need to navigate here and there, and you need to choose this option, choose that options. So instead of doing that, if you're having a cloud formation template, whatever you defined in the template can be written in the form of YAML or JSON. By using a JSON or YAML, you can create the cloud formation template. Okay. By using the cloud formation template, if you run the later, I mean to say like once you write the code, according to the code, it will be create the resources. So got it? What is the difference between Lambda and cloud formation? Lambda also it can do, but as I said already, okay, cloud formation is used for provisioning the new resources. Especially it is used for provisioning the new resources. But Lambda is used for clear guys up to now
What I'm saying? Hope I'm not boring you. Hope the agenda is clear.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. The reason is that you're going to learn, but you should know, right, what you're going to learn in the course. So that's really important, right? So that is the reason I'm clearing about this agenda. Okay. After that, if you have any further queries, I can clarify you before we'll move on. Okay. So right, in that way, next to that, I hope I explained what is meant by scripting. Generally, scripting is nothing but it is making your work easy more. So as I said, right, if you return a script, if you click on the script, if the script executes, whatever you did in 10 to 15 steps by navigating in the Azure console or AWS console here and there, instead of doing the graphical operations one by one operations, it can do automation. That is what it is. The technology name also, it is like developing operations. DevOps is nothing but developing operations. It is developing the operations via scripts. Okay, so hereafter, whatever the tools which I'm conveying, right, Lambda, CloudFormation, Docker, Kubernetes, all are one automation tools. Docker is also one kind of automation tools for web applications. Kubernetes also, it is one kind of DevOps automation tool for web applications. The same way Ansible also one of automation tool for Linux machine. Okay, the same way SaltStack, Jenkins, Terraform, but differences are there. Okay, not all the tools is used for the same purpose. Some reasons are there. Okay, sometimes it may differ. Okay, I mean it's like function wise definitely there will be small changes is there, but overall when you're talking about overall this salt stack, Jenkins, Terraform and all, whatever we learned here, right, VPC, EC2, cloud migration, or auto scaling, load balancer, whatever you are seeing in the screen. Okay, what these all are services of AWS. So this service of AWS we are going to manage through automations by developing the scripts. That is called develops actually. So up to now, the agenda is clear.
Yes, yes, Venkat.
Okay, very good. So this is what especially I want to convey what we are going to learn here. So hope now you got an idea. Okay, this is what cloud. Here we are going to learn. These are the things like that. Okay, so this is one of a detailed syllabus. Okay, whatever I explained as a line by line as a section. Okay, under the each topic, what we are going to learn further. So this also we can share as a PDF to you. So when you have a free time, you can just go through once. You can just read out these terms. Okay, nothing but if it is a EC2 instance, which we said like a virtual server. Under the EC2 instance, what and all you are going to learn. Okay, so that when you have a free time, you can just go through it. And even whenever I'm start to take any sessions, let's take an example. If I'm going to talk about elastic load balancer today our session is elastic load balancer in the sense, then I'll tell what is elastic load balancing, how it is working, what is classic application load balancer, classic LB, application LB, what is internal load balancer, external load balancer. So I'm going to tell each and every subcategory on that. Okay, so as I said, overall these are the topics only going to be covered, which I have shown just before. Okay, so now it's your time. If you have any queries, first of all you can clarify it.
How you are going to give us a real time project? You can you give the real time projects us to do?
Yes, real-time project in the sense. Okay, so even when I'm also working parallelly. Okay, I can't show my current working project the stuffs, but what we can do, we can simulate it in a free tier account. But because you should also have a hands-on, even I can showcase some real-time project. Okay, if I'm showcase some real-time project, if you learn, if you're learning only you are doing the learning in the sense, even that won't make sense. When you go for attending the interview, definitely they will ask about your experience, they will ask about your hands-on. So that time, if you should have a confidence. So for that, what I'm suggesting, we are going to have a one free tier account. Okay, for each individual one, I can help you to create one free tier account. In that free tier account, we are going to implement the projects. So I'm going to simulate the real-time project which I'm currently doing. Okay, so which I'm going to select. So even when you go for attending interview, obviously people are expecting the some hands-on experience, hands-on exposure. So the same we want to implement it in our training as well. So that's the reason even we are giving this real-time hands-on training with each and every sections. Okay, so those project, right? Those project I can have, but currently I can't show since it is confidential. So what you can do, once you enrolled into the training, right, then I can show the project. It's nothing but scenario based. So even I can select today I'm going to take a topic like networking, then VPC. Okay, how the VPC going to be there in real time? Say an example. Let's take an example. I'm going to have a project. Let me show you one time. Please wait. As you asked, I can show the one use case. Okay, guys. So I just open the image. Here, see, it's one of a on-premise setup only. So in the setup, right, how we are going to implement the cloud network and to the on-premise network, how we are going to interconnect. So this is one of an example for you. So my client will ask you, okay, say an example. If you go for real-time environment, your client will give some scenario. Okay, so they want to implement a scenario. So in that scenario, how you are going to proceed? So as in a cap call meeting, okay, in a cap call meeting, you will be discussing with your SDM, and you are going to give the solutions for that along with your team, and you are going to make this kind of projects actually. So this is one of a architect diagram for connecting the on-prem into the cloud actually via some network resources and those stuffs. Okay, the same way, if you want to implement the network connectivity between see web servers, database servers, along with the NAT configuration. Okay, by means of NAT configuration, you can provide the internet to your backend database servers. So this kind of project oriented classes only I'm going to take. I'm not going to take like what is what is what. So actually that is useless. Okay, so whatever the trainings which you are going to have, right, so that is a practical based training only. In the practical based, I'm going to explain along with the scenario, so thereby you'll have a hands-on exposure actually. Okay, even I'm going to give a task on each and every classes after completing the classes. Okay, in the during the session I will explain about the scenario, similar kind of scenario. I'll give you as a task, you should perform that, so then only you will have a hands-on actually. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, so please let me know further.
Yes, sure, Venkat.
Okay. Yes, Santosh, do you want to convey anything, or you have any queries, Parvesh and
Just want to ask one more thing so that it will be good handy information for them. On the real-time projects thing, you'll be able to simulate in the class, or you'll be giving kind of an assignments or homework to them and they'll get back to us on the next day, how exactly that you're planning.
no, actually, in the live session also I'm going to give.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Apart from that, I'll give a task as well.
Okay. Okay.
I mean to say, like
Okay. On top.
in the
Okay.
session, yeah, in the session also I'm going to show the same,
Hmm.
and I can give similar use case also to them.
Okay. So they can do parallelly, I mean, along with you, right?
Along with me in the sense after the session.
Okay. After the
During
session,
the
not
session,
during the
yeah,
session.
say an
Okay. Fine.
example,
Got it.
yeah.
Got it.
During the session, I'm going to explain, I'm going to showcase, I'm going to demonstrate.
Fine.
After
Perfect.
that, the same kind of scenario I'm going to give them. So they're going to practice and they're going to show. They are going to show me the output.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think we are good on this. Any questions from your end, Parvez and Sudhir?
No, no, Venkatesh. No, Santosh.
I'm good, Santosh. No
Okay.
questions.
Okay. Hope you. I mean, Parvez and Sudhir both are comfortable on the same timing, right? Like the
Yes,
7:30 p.m. IST or 8 p.m. IST, daily weekend
yes.
basis, for 2 hours on a daily basis, or 1.5 hour or 2.5 hours,
Uh,
depends on the
we can
topic
attend
wise.
only on the weekends, Santosh.
Yeah, weekends. So
Yeah,
on a daily, I mean, on a weekend we can go for. I mean, we can extend till 2.5 hours on a
yeah.
weekend. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, weekend will be preferable. Even weekend,
Okay.
I think, hope everyone is comfort with the weekend.
Correct.
Both
Correct.
Sudhir and Pavesh.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay. Good.
fine.
Perfect then.
Yes, yes.
If you don't have anything from your end, Parvez and Sudhir, so then I'll share you this course content in a while.
Okay,
I mean, and we can discuss and see how does that work out with you all.
sure.
Okay. Anything from your end that you want to add, Venkatesh?
No, nothing.
Okay. Good. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Venkatesh. Thanks for your time. I'll get back to you maybe in another 1 hour or maybe tomorrow IST morning.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay,
No
Venkatesh.
worries.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Happy
Okay,
Bye.
weekend.
thank you all.
Happy.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, guys.